right. Should we do a podcast? And we have a podcast.
It's happening.
How are you this week?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing well too, thank you. Yeah. So did you have any like games ready moments this week?
Well, this is my first week back in 6 weeks.
That's a games ready moment. You know, at our ages, like that is good. You're back.
I went to the gym and I could walk. So I ended up doing 3 different WODs, and I did one day of my own stuff. And by far, my favorite day was Thursday. And our WOD was run 200 meters, do 12 kettlebell swings, and then do 12 wall balls. And we were supposed to do 6 rounds. We had a time cap of 18 minutes. I did 5 rounds because I knew 4th day back, I was going to be super winded at a mile high city. And after that part of our workout, we did sumo deadlifts, which I was super pumped for, because since I started doing more bodybuilding stuff, I realized I can do so much more weight in a sumo deadlift.
Wow.
And I feel like a
badass. You are a badass.
So that was my games ready moment, because they put on my mix that I've made a mix called Don't Underestimate Me.
Ooh, I would love this mix.
And I was ready to go. Was so great. What about you? What was your games ready?
Well, first I just want to clarify for our audience, like, we know, okay, games ready, we're putting that in quotes because we know we will never be games ready. But you know, that's the fun, that's like the way to say it. So yeah, I would say my games ready moment this week, I think, was when I was told I had pretty cleans. Which could no, I know that could sound like sound like an insult though. No, but the way it was said.
Were they talking about your bar path?
The whole thing, maybe bar path. But yeah, it was during MatCon, we had one heavy clean and then like some other stuff. And it was quick because it was just, what was it? It was one clean and it started with 5 wall balls, then 3 push-ups, and then it was handstand push-ups, but I just did push-ups and 1 clean. You know, it was one of these ones where there was like, I think it was like 3 minutes on and 1 minute off, and you kept picking up where you left off. So it was a lot of rounds. It was a lot. And I felt like every single round, my coach was like, oh, so pretty, such pretty cleans. And so that really got me going. And I actually did the push-ups were the hardest part for me. And
do you do handstand push-ups?
I have done on like 3 ab mats. That's like a lot of ab mats for handstand.
Yeah, well, I've never done a single one at all.
And it was a kipping one too. I've done a few kipping ones, but that day I was like, my neck was like,
yeah, we're not putting our head down there fast.
No. So, and I had just, I'd had some supraspinatus tendonitis. So I took a couple weeks off of any pushing of anything. And I probably got it from a day when I did too many push-ups. But yeah, but I was so happy to like be back at that and feel good with it. And so that was fun.
So I want to relate the pretty cleans to kind of just a history of Anne in athletics. The reason I used to go to yoga was in order to be like, I'm going to have the yoga teacher be so impressed with me that they're going to tell me I should become a yoga teacher.
Oh, wow. Well, I have to say, I'm like a puppy with praise. I just like couldn't get enough.
Can I get more gold stars?
Yeah,
please?
yeah, it made me go faster.
Give me a chart give me some gold stars and I'm going to like kick it out of the park for you.
Absolutely. I know. And I'm like, okay, I know I maybe quote unquote shouldn't be like this or wish I weren't like that, but
No,
it helps. I mean, that's human nature, right? I guess.
So, and so I do think there's something to be said about like the Sesame Street generation. And I am for sure, being in my 40 somethings, am for sure part of the Sesame Street generation where there's got to be some feedback. And I need it for a lot of things. And in the gym, it's so helpful, especially when we're in this CrossFit world where all the movements are, am I right in saying they're like compound movements? There are so many things that I should be thinking about and trying to do. And it's coming from a world of, I just used to run. This is so much more for my brain to think about. And it's so satisfying, but there's also that component of like, I need the reinforcement of the pieces I'm doing well, because there are so many that if I know I'm doing these couple parts of it well, then I can like start to think about, oh, now I need to do this a little bit differently or whatever. And that's what I think I love about CrossFit is that I don't ever see myself like being good, because it's the movements are just they're complex.
Yep. Yeah, for our podcast listeners as opposed to YouTube, she put good in quotation marks, quotation marks, just like we put games ready in quotation marks. So, Anne, did you have a Medicare ready moment this week?
Oh gosh. Well, I would say even my favorite WOD was a bit of a Medicare because I only did 5 rounds.
Oh, stop.
Well, and
I mean, I'll allow it, but I don't really believe that. Yeah.
And I super scaled it. I guess what would be my biggest, we did the beginning of the week. So I came back on a Monday, and of course it was our smash of the week. And the smash is kind of when you expect to like lie in the ground afterward because you're like sucking air hard. And the last movement in that workout was supposed to be chest to bar. And I ended up using a green and a black band doing pull-ups. And again, I was off for 6 weeks, so I don't totally understand what my body is, how it's going to do after 6 weeks of not really doing much. I realized I needed to break down I did all my reps in sets of 3. So I guess in a way that's honestly a win, because I realized, okay, I could get to the 15 cleans, but I needed to do 3 and then just set it down and let myself like watch the clock and get to a certain time and then do 3, set it down.
Yeah.
And I really, 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 really wanted to be able to do a bar muscle up. So when you realize you like kind of stepped back a little bit in your pull-up game, that seemed like a bummer.
Yeah, you'll get back soon.
It's all the lats, girl. Like, right? Like that understanding I have those muscles. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's weird. I don't know.
No, and I'm just starting to understand. I have
like as a tennis player, I should have known I had lats. Like I should have been using lats in a serve.
Interesting.
I never, and I'm still like, did I activate it? Okay, now I can feel it, but it takes a lot of mental willpower.
Sure. Yeah. So
it was just a weird week just because I'm back after 6 weeks off. But it felt so good.
Good to be back.
Freaking love to sweat. I love to just push and be around others that are just like, we're pushing and everything's left at the door and we're just present.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
great to be back. What
Yes.
did you have a Medicare moment this week?
I did have a bit of a Medicare moment. So it was a partner workout.
I love those.
Yeah, it could go either way, but yeah. So it was a partner workout. It was another like short fast. It was 2 5-minute AMRAPs separated by a minute. And which doesn't sound bad if you're like trading off with your partner each round. Okay. I think it was like 5. The first part was 5 snatches and then 5 bar over burpees, burpee over bars, whatever they're called.
Bar over
And then
birthday.
okay, and then the second one was the same but with cleans instead of the snatches. But the thing was, so I was really, it was hard. I wasn't feeling bad or anything, but it was like hard, and my partner was finishing so much faster than me each round. So I was dying at the end. And she was like, I could do that again. She literally said that. So yeah, I could not do it again.
Well, what did you keep the same weight for the snatch and the clean?
Yeah,
What were you
yeah.
doing?
It was my first day back after the
Your
what do you call it?
shoulder.
The shoulder thing. I think I was doing 42.
Okay. So
I
you
can't
had a regular
remember.
barbell, and then what did you put on it?
Well, it wasn't the regular. We have a 22. I'm pretty sure I was using the 22 instead of the 35.
Okay.
And then I put 2 10s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you cleaned that same.
Yeah.
Dude,
But the clean came
kind of
second. So that
any
was
kind of
good.
burpees where you have to like get
Oh,
your
the burpees.
body
Yeah,
to
that's
go
the
further
thing.
than just like up and
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. That's a killer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
But
I
hey,
think
yeah. So it was like very hard. But I honestly, I
how
had to
was your
pick
shoulder?
something for my shoulder was great. That's
Good.
the thing. I was like, I felt like I was dying, but I was like, my shoulder feels great. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter that I'm
Yeah.
dying.
So are we at our segment called What Hurts?
We could be.
Let's do what hurts. What hurts today? And
Let's see. So honestly, being back after 6 weeks, kind of everything hurts. The thing that hurts the most are my calves, my freaking calves from running. And this has been a thing since I was running marathons. Like this has always been a thing. I'm not sure if I don't stretch them enough, if they're just like underdeveloped. Like I have flat feet. Does that like affect how your calves work? I mean, I have way more calf muscle and definition than I've ever had. But when I get back into running, they're just like, hello,
interesting.
you're not walking down the stairs very well.
Huh.
Oh, what about you? I'm glad your shoulder feels better.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I'm just gonna sum up what hurts as like literally right now, just sitting here, nothing hurts. Knock on wood, like I'm pretty good today. That doesn't mean like, okay, if I kind of tilt my back like a little further back, like right now, I can feel a little something on the left side, just like towards my butt. I have like that area is kind of chronically whatever, but let's just, sum it up. Pretty good today.